Alright, let's dive into something that's been blowing my mind lately. China's robotics industry and how it's not just growing, it's globally dominating. But here's the kicker. This isn't just about robots. It's about a much bigger story of innovation, adaptability, and what happens when a country decides to rewrite the rules of manufacturing. So, buckle up, because this is way more fascinating than it sounds. First off, did you know that in 2025, China's robotics exports surpassed its imports for the first time? Let that sink in. We're talking about a country that's gone from being a net importer to a global exporter in a field as cutting-edge as robotics. Personally, I think this is a massive deal, not just for China but for the entire global tech landscape. What makes this really interesting is the speed at which this shift has happened. Surgical robot exports? Up by 3.3 times. Quadruped robots? Nearly 70% of global sales are now Chinese. This isn't just growth, it's a revolution. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. China didn't just stumble into this. It's the result of a deliberate, long-term strategy called intelligent manufacturing in China. What many people don't realize is that this initiative isn't just about making robots, it's about building an entire ecosystem. From auto welding to medical aid, China's massive industrial landscape has become a testing ground for robotics. And this is key. Chinese robots aren't just designed in a lab, they're refined through real-world problem-solving. That's why they're so adaptable. Whether it's a humanoid robot in Tokyo or a quadruped robot in Mexico, these machines are built to handle diverse, often challenging environments. Now, let's talk about why this matters. In my opinion, China's robotics boom is a microcosm of a much larger trend, the shift from made in China to intelligently made in China. It's not just about producing more, it's about producing smarter. And this isn't happening in isolation. China's robotics industry is deeply intertwined with its broader tech ecosystem, AI, chips, sensors, you name it. This full-chain system is what gives Chinese robotics companies their edge. For instance, domestic makers can go from concept to prototype in just 6 months, which is lightning fast compared to global competitors. If you take a step back and think about it, this is a game-changer for emerging markets where Western-designed robots often struggle with local conditions. What this really suggests is that China isn't just exporting robots, it's exporting solutions. And that's a huge distinction. In Thailand, Chinese robots aren't just welding auto parts, they're optimizing entire production lines using digital twins. In Germany, Chinese autonomous mobile robots, AMRs, are integrating seamlessly with local systems. This raises a deeper question. What does it mean for a country to go from selling products to selling ecosystems? From my perspective, it's about building long-term partnerships and creating value that goes beyond the product itself. One thing that immediately stands out is the role of policy in all this. China's government has been strategic in nurturing these industries, providing early-stage support and creating a platform for innovation. Now, I know there's a lot of debate about state intervention in markets, but here's the thing. This isn't about distorting markets. It's about enabling them. Chinese robotics firms still have to prove their competitiveness globally, and they're doing just that. A detail I find fascinating is how this approach contrasts with Western models, where innovation often relies more on private sector initiative. It's a different playbook, and so far, it's working. So, where does this leave us? Personally, I think China's robotics story is a preview of the future of manufacturing, not just for China, but for the world. It's about indigenous innovation, global collaboration, and the ability to adapt to diverse needs. As China continues to climb the value chain, it's not just reshaping its own economy, it's redefining what it means to be a global manufacturing powerhouse. And that, my friends, is something we should all be paying attention to. What do you think? Is China's robotics boom a temporary surge, or is this the new normal? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you found this as fascinating as I did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the trends shaping our world. Until next time, keep thinking big.